Hello and welcome to my channel. Now carrying on from the last video, I'll carry on with this while loop. Okay? Now, it's going to stay in here until a certain thing. I spotted a mistake. There you go. Okay, so I'll do the first line. I just remembered something. And that is, my lights aren't working, so I'm going to have to use my mobile phone as the light. As a light so that I can see the keyboard to type. Anyway, I'm going to create a variable called actions. So what this is going to do is, these are the actions that we're going to perform on each set of cards. Like each hand is going to be versus the dealer. So if I go back to my famous drawing, if I can find it, each hand would look something like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to filter it and just say give us all the things with a property of cards. And then we're going to say the count. So for instance, for this one, it will get a count of 2. Then we're just going to loop over. We're going to fill. We're just going to. What we're going to do is we're going to assume that they're in the right order, because whenever we populate these, we always populate them in the correct order. So what we're going to do is we're going to say how much of these have got card in them, and it's going to come back with 2. So we're just going to look at 1, 2. I'm going to ignore the rest of them. Like before, we were saying if it doesn't contain a property. But we're not going to do that with this. We're just going to. It doesn't really make much difference. What we're going to do is a bit safer to. In this instance, it's a bit safer to do it this way. Okay. So imagine you've got a set of cards like this now. Okay. What if that was a? I don't know. What if this was a 10? And what if that was a 3? That action thing what I just showed you, in this case, you've got 1, 2 set of cards. These are empty, so these aren't count. So for this, it will be, you need to hit here, so it will be hit. So whatever you do hit, I mean, for this is a stick, because it's 18. So you do 0, that means stick. Giving the person 0 means that the count doesn't get affected, so it's the same as sticking. Okay. Now, 8 and 3, the person's going to need another card on that. So that person would get hit. But what I actually do is I hit and the dealer will return a card. So that might be I don't know. That might be a 7. Okay. And then later on, it will store that value, and then what I want to search for is when the array contains all zeros, like for instance this, when it contains that, that means every card that I've got is stuck, because obviously the reason I have more than one card is because of splits and stuff like that. Okay, that's why I'm gonna have more than one. Otherwise, I'll just have one. But if I've got more than one set of cards, then when all of them are 0, then it will move on to the next stage and actually give the cards out. I mean, we'll talk about give the cards out. Yeah, after each round, it will put the cards into an array, and then it will give the cards for that round, and then it will move to the next round. Okay, and so forth and so forth. until everyone until it gets to the stage where every card is 0. That means everyone is every card is on stand, or they've all bust, so they don't get any more cards, and then it will move on to the next stage after it gets all zeros. Okay, so that's how this thing is gonna work. So now I just have to find out where I was. So I was here, and that's the actions I was speaking about. Okay, and now I'm going to filter. I'm going to paste this in because I was talking more than I thought I would be. I'm going to just paste this in, and this is as I said, this is a different thing than how we've done it before. I just want the length of this. I'm just going to assume that they're in the right order. Okay, so this just gives me the length of my cards, and now I'm going to perform a standard loop over my cards. So I've got the count there now, so I'm going to do that. And the first lot, I'm just going to make it easy for myself and do that. Okay. So this is where we have to check. Right now we're looping, we're doing, this is a bit confusing because we've got a loop within a loop, and then we've got a while loop, and then we've got another loop, okay? But this is what we're doing here. These cards, we don't know how much they contain. It could contain 1 or 2, so we don't know. So we just have to loop over them, okay? And we have to run a function on all of these cards. We have to run something on all of them, okay? So we have to loop over them. That's why we're doing a loop. So here we're looping over the cards. Up there, we're looping over the trials. The while loop is until all the cards are stick or bust. Okay. So let item equals card. Now the first thing we're going to check is for doubles. Okay. So if item dot it's going to be D, it's going to be DS, and then we're going to do something for that. Okay. So in here we've got that split card rule that we've got to think about now, because put this here. As user can get a pair of aces, he can split them. Then he can get ace 4, and then the thing would say double here. So he could have a split, and then he can have a double. Okay. Yeah, he can have that. He can have a split and then a double afterwards. Okay. So we have to cater for that. I know it's confusing, but this is how it would work. You get a pair of aces, you do a split on them, and then on one card, and then one of the hands will get a 2 on it. I mean, get a 4 on it, for instance. What if the dealer had 4, and the hand gets a 4 on it? Okay, this has been split now, so that means it's only supposed to get 1 card back. Okay, so it goes to Goes to pot player hands. So it goes to pot player hands here. And the one with ace, the hand with ace four, it's got a split on it. It's already had one card, which is, so it's always allowed to have one card, so it's got ace two. It gets the card, ace two, it comes in here, and that will give it as double. Okay? And there's nothing in here for double, as you can see. The argument is, could I handle it? Could I handle it in here? And I'm gonna think now if I can handle it in here. Okay, I just thought, I think you should perhaps go here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna leave that warning on because I'm gonna have to check this. I'm gonna do that. So that means I've got a warning on this anyway, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave it there. So that means the check for splits that I'm gonna do in D, nothing with a D or a DS or a P should escape from here. Okay, but I'm gonna do a test for it. So it's quite easy for me to test anyway. So I can just push off a billion trials and put something in there to just make sure that nothing's spilling through. But to be honest, putting it here is more risky than putting it the other place because I'm just thinking about when you get item split 11, that means you've got two cards. So it seems to be that it would be valid putting it here. Okay? Warning. I'll leave it as warning. But if I have any mistakes, I'm going to come back here. But I can do tests for this. Okay? So I'll carry on. So I'm not gonna check for a split here because I've just eliminated split. The splits cannot come here now after that line I put in. So all I have to do here is actions, and then we need to get a card. Dealer dot hit. So that means give me a card. And then I have to do, remember they're double in, so they can't get any more cards after this. Item dot doubled equal true. So this says that to true will stop them getting any more cards. Okay. So that's the first one I'm testing. If item action equals D or DS, that means I give them a card and then put item doubled equals true. So that means that we're not getting more cards. Now I'm going to do an else if here. And the next action I'm going to check for is going to be the H. Because obviously that's going to be one that gives you a card. Item that if item maximum equals H, first thing we have to do is need to get things that are doubled and get them out of there. So I'm going to do if item dot doubled equals true, then we're going to not give them a card. Action dot push, and naught is like not giving them a card. And if they haven't got doubles, then I suppose we have to give them a card. I'm getting confused now. Else if, okay. Now I've changed something because, so I won't change it back now, but I will have to think. And so here, we have to check for a split here. So we have to do if item dot equals 11 and item so I'm going to put a bracket on this. It's quite easy to make big mistakes when you don't put the correct brackets in. I remember I built this system and it was a thing that ran it used to run every day and delete accounts that were there for more than a month. I mean, people get emails saying, "Do you want to keep your account?" And if they didn't keep it, after 3 months, the account would get deleted. So I remember I'd done an SQL statement and I think I missed the bracket out, and because of that, it deleted 2 accounts. But luckily, in fact, it deleted 3 accounts, and it was a situation where I had to recover them. So it's just missing out one bracket cause you a lot of trouble. Okay. Item dot split not equal to 11. So what does this mean now? Sometimes we've got the item that is split, and also they've only got 1 card. So that means when we split a hand, sometimes they've got 1 card and the item is split. So in that situation, we have to give them a card. Otherwise, if the item splits 11, we do not give them a card. Because remember, when we split, we always set it to H. So all of these will come under here. Okay. So in this situation, if the item split's not even equal 11, then we also give them a card. So we just so I'm going to paste this in. In fact, what am I doing? All I have to do is copy it from here. There you go. Else. So this is no card. And as you can see, this is quite easy to troubleshoot. I'm just doing I'm doing nested else ifs, and that's the reason I'm doing it, because I want to capture everything. Like when you do, I've got an if statement here, and that's capturing the D and the S. Within here is capturing 100% of things that do with S. Then I do an else if, and I'm capturing the H. within here, I've got an if and an else. I'm confusing myself now. Okay, so let me just highlight that. In here, within that else if, I've got an if here, I've got an else there. So within that partition, I'm gonna capture some there. The rest that I'm gonna capture there will come here, and this will capture everything. So everything to do with H will get captured here. Now, if I was to there's other ways because I'm doing nesting. If I didn't do nesting, there's a danger of me missing out a range, especially things like this here. I've got a range there where I'm excluding, and then I'm just doing else. So that means it's going to catch everything else under here. Okay, because it's quite easy to make a mistake. If I miss a range out, that's going to make my results be off, and it's going to be hard to troubleshoot. It's very hard when you make a mistake in here. It's very hard to troubleshoot it. Okay. So I've done DS and hit. So the rest I could just do it here. I've done most of the main ones now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another else if, and this is for splits. Item dot action equals R, and for here I'm just going to put some test handle. It's going to handle refuse splits, and then under here I'm going to put else. Okay, you're not H. Okay, this is what I'm saying. You're not D, H, or R. Then that means you're not going to get a card. Simple as that. Okay, so you get 0. That means stick. Okay, so that appears to cover everything. Okay, the only mistake I might make is in here. Well, I've done a change. I decided to put something somewhere else. So I'm aware that there may be an error in here somewhere. But I'll fix it by putting it back to how it was. Now another thing I have to do is, because I've included R here, and I haven't got any code to handle it, I'm gonna have to make sure that it never ever gets to R until I fix it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find R, and I'm going to make sure that I never hit it. And where is R? Okay, so if I set this to 40, because there's only 32 of the same card, then I may as well set it to infinity. So that situation where it comes in here and scrolls our results, that will never happen now. So I don't have to worry about this until what I want to do with this R, because oops, I've got a typo here. Because handling this is a bit difficult, I'm going to sort of leave it till last, but I'm going to definitely do it. There's going to probably be a lot of code to do it. So what I want to do is, this video is running a bit too long, so I'm going to stop the video now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.